members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this evening's live, I had a different title initially out, and then I was like, you know what? This is probably a more important way to get people's attention for one of two reasons. One, for the fact that I find it staggering that so many people continue to fall for the scam of send us 500 XRP, we'll return you 1,000 XRP, and it's a knockoff of like Ripple. You see the fake advertisements that for whatever reason YouTube ought to be ashamed of itself because it's taking easy money by people who are paying to run advertising commercials. They are accepting these commercials to run on YouTube, and it's embarrassing. Obviously, because this is the platform I like. But to see that commercial run, and I've had people tell me in my audience, hey, I thought it was legit because I seen YouTube run an ad on it. Well, it's not legit. And Ripple issued a very serious warning today about this exact thing, about how this scam is starting to, more and more people are falling victim to this. So they actually had to put out an emergency warning to the XRP holders. So we'll go over that. We'll continue to look at the fact that XRP's unlocked the second batch here today of 500 million XRP, which pre-ran the drop, because when they unlocked it, XRP was at 61 cents, and now as we see, we had a pretty sudden drop down to 50 cents here, and now we've recovered up to 54, but we're going to look at the XRP analysis as well. And then we also have to look at, is the XRP ETF closer than most think? Because Ripple CEO is hinting, or at least he's hinting at the fact that Ripple might be in better shape than most people think based on some recent decisions, and why an XRP ETF is likely more appealing and has more of a chance of being pushed through than an Ethereum ETF. I'll believe that part when I see it, but I certainly believe that an XRP ETF is closer than we think. If I had to guess, by the end of this year, we would get some kind of direction with that, like in a good way. And that the end of the year is not that far away here. We're already over 4 months through the year, 4.5 months now, if you can believe it. So we have to go over that, and then this. So the ETF we'll talk about the second batch of 500 million XRP from Escrow, and then we'll also talk about the Ripple warning. We'll start with that when we first go through the analysis. But obviously, we'll go through the technical analysis as Ripple's slid here, XRP slid down here 10.94%. And I've had a lot of people ask me, because I've said in the past, if XRP breaks a certain point, there's two options to approach it. One is obvious. I could sell it if it breaks this cup and handle. And then you could try to buy it back if it did come all the way to 38 if it happens. Or the second option would be when it goes under 50 cents, you start buying a certain amount every day. Because you're getting 2 for $1, and as it works its way to 3 and 4 for $1, even if you got lucky enough to get 5 for $1, you start to build such a large holding then by doing it day after day, even if it's a set amount of $10 a day. It doesn't matter. You start building into it as the drop is below a certain price. So that's another way to approach it. So to me, honestly, I could go either way, but I'm starting to like the idea of more so starting to add to the position when it ends up going below a certain threshold. For me, though, it would have to be below the 2-to-1 to continue to add to what I hold, because it would need to break down below this descending formation, or the handle formation, because then I know you could have a big drop down. But that's all speculation which way you would go. I'm not saying I would do either or, but that's the two decisions you would have to make if you were in a position where you've got money made and then you don't know what to do. Hey, do I sell it or do I hold it? There's also a third option of not just holding it or just selling it. You can also add as it gets lower. So, and especially depending on where you bought it. Like for me, I bought it at 34 cents. So it's a dicey situation once it gets below 50, because you're not really wanting to add your position average. But at the same time, you've got an opportunity with the sudden market sell-off. Assuming that we're in the right, feasibility and it's still the right set of circumstances, you need to take advantage of it with what plays out. So you won't know this, and I won't know this until we start to move here and see whether or not we do, in fact, start retesting that 50-cent area, or if now we can push past that first big test at 58 cents. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I know a lot of people were surprised that I came back to do this live right now. But, I wanted to do something at 6:30 area, 6:40. Even though I literally just got done with the live, it feels like I just got done because we did like an hour and 10 minutes in the heart of the drop. And a lot of information was had. But I still wanted to come on and do this live this evening. I don't know how long it's going to be. We'll decide by how the audience drives the, the conversation, and we'll see what kind of mindset we have. Positivity over negativity. So with that being said, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. No clue how many people will be here this evening, but I'm assuming it might be a little smaller since I just got done with the live. So we should be able to have a more unified back and forth without having 700 different, comments flying in back and forth. But we'll see what happens here. So good evening, 6:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, April 12th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. If you are watching, I really do need your help hitting the like button. Only 1/3 of the people watching have hit that like button so far. That does help. That does help me push through the analytics. And not just that, YouTube will recommend this live. So that means somebody who hasn't seen the update, because trust me, even though we had 215 people in the live earlier, you don't even understand how many people message me that are typically there that did not even get an alert. And it's kind of disappointing because we had a good audience earlier. It was a lot of people that I didn't even recognize as well. But we need to help everybody who wants to be here by hitting that like button. YouTube will recommend this. And that just means the newer and older viewers in the YouTube feed, as you're scrolling, my content pops up. Tom, we did not feel / hear the boom in Bloomfield Hills. Okay, so that's good to know. He's not that far from us. Yeah, Dodger, it was pretty crazy, though. We're still not sure what it is. Because I don't know if you were in during the live earlier, but there's a point in that live where all of a sudden my door and everything, it kind of like imploded and had this big bang on the side of my house, and it was weird. And then we heard that there was an explosion and yada, yada, yada. Somewhere down, but it was weird. But Dodger, I appreciate you being in Tom's Army along with Mark Casson for 1 month. And Will Rob with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I also appreciate everybody who's tuning in. And make sure you look in the video description below and or pinned comment. When we're dipping like this, I'm sending more and more money here from Uphold to finally, when I most likely get it to zero, as some of my stop orders were my limit sells were triggered on not XRP or the ones like that, but some of the other ones that like H-bar and the ones that were way up, Algo, they triggered somewhere along the line with this. So a lot of my money that was tied up in Uphold, my positions finally that were up a couple 100% or even 150%. Some of them triggered now the set limit sell, just in case when it gets down to a certain position, if anybody knows. But now that money's freed up to where I can send it to BITUNIX now, and I can add on top of what I already have, and then I can start putting positions there, because now you can hold your money in USDC. So now I'm not worried about having it sitting there on the sidelines. That was my only speculation of having more money sitting there, was because BITUNIX, you had to do it in Tether, and I'm not a fan of that. Now they have USDC in spot, and it's freaking it's fantastic. I have over 3,200 right now sitting in the USDC, and I love it. And I've been waiting for opportunity. I almost pulled the trigger at 60.8, or what was it? Yeah, 60.8 cent area, or 59, but I just wasn't comfortable because we didn't get the confirmation while we were on air. So now we'll see what happens here. But I keep saying spot's king. And if you do go and make sure you look in the video description below or pinned comments in this live for BITUNIX, they have the lowest spot leverage and futures or leverage and spot trading fees in the USA. So, and I'm not a partner of BITUNIX. It's just that's what I use now, and it saved me a lot in fees. And I'm just sick of it, honestly, with the Uphold. And I don't like the 3.5% fee that it always comes out to be each time I try to buy and sell. It becomes enormous. To put it in perspective, to say it sold algo somewhere around 20, 21 cents, and between there when it was doing it. And the fee just on that sale cost me like 60 or 70 bucks to make that sale. I was so pissed. And you're talking about I made 100 and something percent on that trade, and it cost me 60 bucks. I mean, on $1,000 that's ridiculous. On $100 that's 6%. But on 1,000, you guys get the picture. I get sick of that. So I'm not doing it no more. So my stuff is transferring over to BITUNIX. I've been doing it for a long time as stuff has been selling, yada, yada, yada. So I'm taking this as a moment where I can start to put stuff, and I can actually have money in a swinging trade position as well because I don't have to worry about the fees. It becomes an enormous problem for me, and I get sick of paying the exchange just to trade. And I loved Uphold for a long time until I realized that there were others like BITUNIX that never got rid of XRP, and they never started charging the exorbitant fees. It pisses me off. Yeah, there's a lot of FUD out there. I have a feeling next week, maybe to start, you're going to see an assault on precious metals. Maybe in the beginning of the week, in my opinion, they're going to make it look a little bit dicey. And then before we know it, whether it's midweek, end of week, the following week, this is all going to rectify itself. But you can already see a tiny formation here, and this speaks to what somebody just said, to where if they were to continue to pull this down, and it's set up for, because you have an engulfing here, if they continue to do something like this, and then all of a sudden it hits that uptrend like that, if they do something like that, gold's going to have the biggest V-shaped recovery, and this is just going to go insane. This is going to go parabolic, and I am rooting against all rooting. I am betting against, I want this to happen. Yes, I'm rooting against all bettors, I suppose. I don't even know how it's supposed to come out, but I'm rooting for this to happen. If there is one thing I want to happen with gold, and this is the same for crypto when things come down, if this ever does this and it shakes everybody out with gold, and mind you, it's still 2,200. This would fill every little line it never came back to. And if it does this and reaffirms that, oh my God. That's what I want, because I want it to shake people out. Same thing with crypto. How crypto is doing what it's doing right now, it's expected. Look at, we're depreciating. Even if the price isn't depreciating, we talked about how the US dollar is going parabolic right now. It had a technical target up to 106.23. Almost finished it at the end of the week. Now, technically, though, the technical target here is to come up here well, not technically, but there is a target. I'll show you the exact target just so we don't get this twisted. And this is important when it comes to crypto, too, because when it's in relation to the US dollar, if you're getting appreciation in the dollar, price should be appreciating. Well, then what the hell is going on? I always tell everybody there's no direct correlation with crypto and the US dollar. And if there was, as this was going up, crypto should be going up. So finally, we can see the dispersion here. But against gold, the US dollar hasn't even made a new high here. But in the best case scenario, the dollar could come up to like 110. We're expecting a move here if it continues on and gets above 106.23 to come up here to 107 area. That's the formation that's set up. I mean, we can't fight that if it comes through here. And it's just crazy that it's followed this rising channel all the way up. We projected that so long on it. It just stays in it. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. This has been going on for all eons. Why change now? So that's what we're looking at. And the DXY, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, does not positively impact or negatively impact crypto. You see a perfect example. The dollar went parabolic even more today, and crypto has floundered. Big sell-off. If it was in accordance with the dollar, we should have been pushing money. We should have been making bank today, not losing it. And the only ones losing it really are the leverage traders, or the ones that were swing trading after the rally already started. Or were buying in after the rally already started. It's very important to accumulate when the rally has not begun and nobody wants to buy. When everybody wants to buy and everybody's willing to buy in no matter what, that's when greed becomes a little bit too much. So, I do appreciate everybody tuning in, like I really do. I didn't expect over 100 people here this evening. The likes are just, I mean, I know there's not a lot of likes, but I guess there's nothing to like about crypto right now, honestly. Yep, Jedi, that's why I don't understand why people say when the DXY goes up, XRP goes up. In my experience, it's been the complete opposite, as it's been with most of crypto. It's when the dollar depreciates, I expect crypto to go up, because then even if you're not getting a lot of surge in volume, still against the US dollar, it should be coming up a little bit so it reflects in the price. One way or another, whether by trading bot or by fluke, because some say it's a miracle, it still follows the same trajectory. So if the dollar is being depreciated, well, the price of metals, the price of crypto goes up. Even if our dollar is going down, on the screen it makes it look better. But there also is a scenario where there could be a Venezuela-like scenario where we get prices at a certain point But when you put them up against real money, what you cash out of the markets don't mean anything because it's so depreciated in your own dollar. Hope you're well, Bloodbath today, hoping it's up from here as the halving is coming soon. That's the other thing, though. See, the halving is what makes me uncomfortable, everybody. I'll be honest. The halving, everybody, I don't know why everybody's expecting it to go so big after the halving. I really don't. But, I mean, the halving affects the miners. It doesn't affect us. Like, as retail investors, it doesn't affect us. Honestly. I know it doesn't always ramp up. But when was the last time Bitcoin hit an all-time high before the halving? Does anybody know in its history? I'll wait for somebody to give the rapid response. How many times, if ever, or when was the last time Bitcoin went to all-time highs before the halving? Just if we're going from recent memory or if we're going for a track record or if something's wrong. And after that, I have one more question that will be like, okay, maybe we do need to study this. Mandoline, yep. You're right. It has never done this. 2012 did have a moment after the halving. You're right. But there were still no chains in 12. That was one of the ones. Mostly there's drops after. But here's another scenario. What was not available back then that could play to an even bigger drop right now? The Bitcoin ETF. So what I mean by that is the Bitcoin ETF, that's bringing in money, right? So who the hell is selling it to the ETFs? Is this the whales that own Bitcoin? Is this a strategic strategy by MicroStrategy or Michael Saylor? Are these ones who are the biggest whales, are they actually secretly giving it up to the grayscale the Bitcoin ETFs? Are they cashing out to get real dollar value because they know exchanges, if they sold it that way, they're going to go through. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I want that answer. But like when you sell it from an exchange, you can sell it in Tether, which means that they can just print money into thin air, just like with the US dollar. If you print it if you sell it and you own an ETF, and those are paper thin hands, those people are not Bitcoin hodlers. They're holding it and they're looking to turn a profit. But when they sell it, they can't sell it in Tether. They got to sell it for real dollars, which means it's got to drive the money from somewhere. That's my whole thing. Oh yeah, Tethered is very much so skyrocketed. Very much so skyrocketed, and you ask yourself why. As it becomes under investigation in other countries for money laundering purposes. That's not a joke. That's come to light here in the last few days, which we already suspected. But I think, everybody, like I said, we talked about this a few weeks ago, and it caught us off guard a little bit when we started talking about these low targets, right? If we reverse down and this ETF was a buy the rumor, sell the news, and it very much seems like, because we called the bottom when it hit again at 26,000 or 27,500, whenever it hit. And we said, buy the fucking farm. And it was because of what was going on with policy. Now with this this just seems too convenient. When everybody's telling you it's going up at the halving, when everybody's telling you that we're about to do this, when everybody's telling you all that, no, I'm sorry, nope. And that's why it's caught me in a weird position here, because as much as I would love, and I've tried to show the bullish scenarios and the bearish scenarios, but right now, at the end of the week, on Friday, this is bearish. Unless it picks back up and we get some volume to come in to reverse this over the weekend, where we're at right now is not bullish. The only thing bullish about this is the fact we haven't come down farther. That's it. Right now, it's trying to show like the first signs, because this looks like a small bull flag. So for the weekend, we should come up. Maybe we'll retest up in here at 698. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But this doesn't breed confidence as of right now. It just doesn't. The hourly, yeah, it's oversold. But if we want to play the game like that, then you go to the weekly. Well, the weekly's still well intact right now, and it's clearly, in that sense, what are we looking at here? It's the same thing that scared us a few days ago. That could very well, let me get rid of this so we can see. Let me get rid of this. Is that not possibly And now it's looking even worse because it pulled down. Is that not possibly a reversal candle there that's leaning more towards a bearish reversal? Because it's more, it's not even a long leg doji. This would be more considered a gravestone, a silently bullish looking candle, even though it's in design bearish. The only reason it's green is because of where it started. The daily, we don't know yet because we don't know where the close is going to be. But if it closes where it's at, it's going to end up being a engulfing candle to the downside more than likely. So it's going to be pretty interesting here. So if it does break down, we should come down here to retest the broadening wedge. It's very, very unusual not to retest a prior pattern breakout and retest it. It's just not. This is just the short term that if we broke out bullish, then that could be used more like a bull flag. But if it breaks down, it's a problem. And right now it's showing signs that it can happen. It can break down. But at the same time, you don't panic. We got to see what happens after this candle closes in 54 minutes and see on a thinly traded weekend how much of a rebound we get, if any. So I'm glad to see people talking within the chat too. It makes me happy. And please, if you have a chance, hit that like button so YouTube recommends this. I know we can do better than that. I really do. I put in a lot of time here today too. I know most people won't show up because we're diving, but this is my second time I've been here in 5 hours. I already did an hour and 15 minutes before this. Show me you respect the time I'm putting in just by hitting that like button. That's all I ask. I haven't even had a single donation or anything today. That's not why I came back. It's not like I was lighting it up earlier. I didn't get any donations. I came back because it's important, not because I'm looking to make money. So, we've got this. We've got the XRP market cap down 10%, or lost $3.666 billion. Ironic how that happened. Down to $29.838 billion. Our technical target here, too, had a breakdown. And we have both targets, but now you have to clearly focus. Like we were more focused when we went to the top side. We had a chance to go up. Now we're clearly more focused on the downside because now we're not only below that uptrending resistance, we're also out of the formation. And now the technical move, we already came all the way down to 28.1. The technical drop point is 25 billion out of this small formation. Out of the rising channel, which we are firmly below now. And we've talked about this many times. And this whole thing, all the way up, you can measure it from whichever spot, from the beginning or end, it's the same size. We talked about this a while ago, even when it was in that pattern. And they both come to the same spot, so it's scary. That's when it becomes scary. So what's it telling us here? Well, it's probably telling us we're coming to 25 billion. Well, if we come to 25 billion, we don't really want to, because if we come down there, what does that do for XRP's price if we lose another 4 billion? Does anybody know? Would make it... No, I don't want no donations. That's not why I said it. I respect you too, Ian. No, I'd rather you buy the dip. Nope. Donations will come later. Donations come when XRP goes up. That's how it's supposed to work. That was just the point I was making. Sometimes it's not about the money, everybody. Sometimes it's about paying attention to the ebb and flow. Like, if I'm not on here for this hour, I'm not paying as close of attention. I can't let my mind run like this. You know, I like this. I like having conversation with the audience. I like the thought, the back and forth. Just like we're talking right now with where are we going to be at? And my honest question to you all, if XRP did go down to 25 billion on a technical move, if we get the confirmation, what does that do for XRP's price? Does that line us up with more of a, and nobody wants to talk about it, but does that line us up with a retest back down here of 38 cents, 38.5 cents? Does that only bring us down? What is going on here? We got to refix this. We're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. So we're just going to look at this entire uptrend, because if you look at this in the daily, this is something that will continue to haunt me. And it's haunting me still because XRP can't seem to break this. Let me put, this isn't accurate yet. Hold on. Because if you look at this objectively and you just say, okay, What if you take away the high movements here? It's the same thing that'll always haunt us. We are still, like we've said for a long time, and it plays out like this, and it sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. It absolutely plays out in a rising channel. And we've had many chances to get over this rising channel. And the one thing we know about a rising channel is what? It's a bearish reversal if it plays true. And like there's other ways to put this. You can put it up here. You can put it down here. But the bottom line is even if you put it here like I like to because it makes a point, it still never could hold above it. No matter where you put it. None. Zero. Even that resistance came up there. So the point is if you break this rising channel, my way that I like to look at this, if XRP goes to 25 billion, this is my own interpretation. You know, everybody has their own interpretation. Everybody does their technicals their own way. Yada, yada, yada. I've heard it. I know. I get it. This is my own way of doing it. I taught myself technicals, and it's worked well for me over the last several years. You know, so, and it continues to work. So, if this breaks down, if we take a logical target here, this brings us down to about 30 cents. So does that mean, and it makes sense because if you have a channel going up, rising channel, and you fail to break bullish, when you break down, it comes down to the bottom of the channel. It lines up too perfectly too in that regard. But if we come down there, is that where XRP's price is looking to be, 30 cents? If the XRP market cap's at 25 billion, I think that's too far of a stretch from that drop. I think it's somewhere in between, but I'm just saying, if this breaks off, it's perfect there though, because this fills a beautiful gap there as well. So I think, yes, as Joshua said, Christ is King. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this beautiful Friday evening that's been very stormy here in the great state of Michigan the last 2 days. Not stormy, but windy and rainy. Very windy today. But this is what I'm saying. So if we lose that handle support and you have to sell at 50, if somebody says, you know what? I'm selling at 50 and buying at 30. I'm not going to kill them for that because you waited. I'm just saying there is going to be that temptation for ones that understand the charts to do exactly that and buy back at this point. I'm just saying. The technical target, if we lose this rising channel, is 30 cents. The rising channel is lost, ironically, once we lose this 50 cent area, which is also too convenient because that's the cup and handle support. So we could be getting shysted here, to be honest. We could be getting the old, kicking the old Cinderellas, or the Grotesques. I don't know, the Cinderellas doesn't make sense. But in the old Grotesques, it's not going to be pretty if this happens. But look at this. I mean, it's always been the one glaring obvious thing. We're in a rising channel. Rising channels are not typically bullish. But, you know, there's a lot more time. No. This hasn't broke it yet. See, until we break this handle, because, yeah, just because the handle suggests 4 cents, you still would have to break 38 and 30, so let's not get carried away. When was the last time I flew a kite? Julie, when did we fly that kite? Was that a couple years ago? Was that in the trailer still? Yeah, we did. We did it behind the school and I believe at the trailer. We got them for Easter in a basket or something.
I remember when we almost caught the thing on fire.
Oh, when we did the hot air, or the, what was it, the light thing? That is true. Ooh, kite with 45 mile an hour winds yesterday. Excellent. Maybe a bedtime live. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. This is already my second live of the day. I don't think I'll be able to do a third live today. I'll be honest. This is already my second live of the day. It's asking an awful lot of a man who hasn't even got a single donation the whole day to come on for 3 hours. Not that I don't enjoy doing what I do. It's just asking an awful lot because then I'm going to be worn out for tomorrow. See, I don't take breaks on the weekend. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at with XRP. I think that was a beautiful way to do it over 30 minutes. I'll be honest. I think that's true. I think that's true. I think that 30 cents, if the handle breaks, I think that is in a perfect spot. It lines up beautifully. 4 cents is a stretch, but 30 isn't. Krypton, hey, welcome back, Kryptonian. I don't know what the boom was. We still don't know. We still don't know. All we heard was there's an explosion down in Detroit, but I doubt we would have felt that, honestly. I really do doubt we would have felt that. Hey, look at that. The Gatman made sure that I didn't go out a loser in 2. No, I'm kidding. He made sure that I was feeling the love. The Gatman, thank you for the $2 donation. I appreciate that greatly. And also for being part of Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. He's telling everybody. But we got to get through some reading here, folks. Hey, Kyle Kupiak, welcome in. You know, earlier it showed us that you were part of Tom's Army. Now all of a sudden it doesn't show it again. You know, YouTube needs to get their stuff together. It's almost as bad as Fortnite now. Fortnite's glitches are awful this season. I know some of you laugh when I talk about it, but it is. It's bad. I got to play with that V4 Life last night, too, from in the live. It's awesome. Second month for Cape Cod Kai with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. I love seeing that. Love seeing that. Kryptonian came in with no sound. Somebody tell him to restart his live. Because I know I wouldn't have 150 people watching if they couldn't hear me. George, good evening, and thank you for being Tom's Army for for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. So first here, let's go through this. So Ripple Labs makes not that. Ripple sends critical message to XRP community, and this is what it concerns. I talked about it in the opening, but we'll just show it here now. So Ripple warns that neither the company nor any of its executives will ever ask you to send XRP. To better educate the community, Ripple created a demo video reinforcing the warning. So listen, I think it's funny how they did this, but it should be, I always tell you guys, there's no send me 500 crypto and you get 1,000 back. Ripple has nothing of that sort ever. But listen to what they did. It's kind of funny.
I'm Brad Garlinghouse. Oh, hi. I'm Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. No, you're not. Big wins at the XRP giveaway. Link in bio. Look, this guy is obviously a scam. There's no XRP giveaway. Send us 500 XRP and we'll send you double back. Congratulations, XRP holders. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ripple will never ask you to send us XRP. Send me your wallet address and we will give you all the XRP. Okay, that's enough, buddy. I'm reporting you. Big wins at the XRP. At least they got my hair right.
So, I mean, I wanted to make sure to warn everybody, like, that is not legitimate. If I told you to send me $500 and I told you I'd send you 1,000 back, haven't you heard this before somewhere? I mean, seriously. I mean, this is almost as bad as when I did the spoof and I did the XRP. Remember the Kryptonic currency? Let me ask you a question. Was anybody here when I did that ruse and I showed everybody how easy it would be to get a bunch of viewers? And I did a little thing to show you if I wanted to do it just for viewers, I could do it so easily. And the video got over 7,000 views. But does anybody remember the Kryptonic currency? And if one person remembers in here, I'll talk about it. Because other than that, people will think I'm lying about this. So popular scams, including impersonation scams, whereby scammers create a sense of legitimacy by using logos, profile images, deepfakes, or legitimate video excerpts with branding that matches real corporate imagery. Crypto giveaway scams involve social media posts, posing as public figures promising free cryptocurrency. Phishing scams occur often in the form of emails or text messages from a known entity asking users to respond, visit a website, or send money. Exit scams or rug pulls occur when the crypto developer pull their funds and abandon the project to profit from investors. So we see what happened here. Oh, yep, see that happens. That happens. I started a message last year. It was my brother's birthday. I didn't see what the rest of that was, unfortunately. So that's that with the Ripple warning you, and they made a little funny thing about it. And then I also want to talk about this while I still have a voice. So the XRP ETF, is it on the horizon? So Ripple CEO hints at regulatory green light. And this is the only reason I found it interesting, because he's hinting at something a little deeper as well. So crypto market, roller coaster, yada, yada, yada. So here's Ripple CEO. It's great to be back at Paris Block Week. I joined XRPL _ Commons CEO David Bichiri on stage to discuss why Ripple is planning to launch a USD stablecoin later this year, growing the XRP ledger community and crypto regulation, of course. So, Darlinghouse highlighted a crucial point. Only Bitcoin and XRP have clear regulation in the US. While Ethereum strives for ETF approval, doubts linger with the analysts giving it just a 35% chance. Diversification. Brother's birthday. I was going to say Bitcoin and XRP bounced off the bottom trend line. Hey, tell your brother happy birthday. We'll see if it bounces off the trend lines here. Right now, the obvious thing we have to watch out for is retesting a back test and getting rejected and dropping even further. So that's the first step. But yeah, we're going to see if anything is drawn. But we won't know if we bottomed or anything until we see this next recent move in this, especially this next couple of days. Then this next daily candle is a big thing. Despite uncertainty, XRP has shown resilience, bouncing back alongside yada, yada, yada. So Garlinghouse optimism about XRP ETF clash with reality of Ripple's legal battle with the SEC, which could delay XRP's ETF approval. Despite Garlinghouse talk of regulatory clarity, plus the success of Ripple's stablecoin faces uncertainty. Given competition from established market players, this situation matters because despite regulatory challenges, XRP's regulatory status could give it an advantage over cryptocurrencies like Ethereum in the ETF approval process. So Garlinghouse seems to think because of the clarity we already have, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, that we're actually in better shape to get an ETF approval than Ethereum, which, if you think about it, Ethereum is under the eye right now, but I don't know. There's too much back-end deals. I'm grabbing my other water real quick. The problem with thinking that Ripple or XRP is going to get a ETF before Ethereum is there's far too many reach-arounds going on between Ethereum and the SEC right now. That, there's not much room for XRP in that regard. Well, if you want to put it in terms like that. But that's the truth. There was ice and it got stuck. But yeah, that's the truth. So that's what's going on across the market with XRP. We'll still read about the 500 million XRP. This is the second 500 million XRP escrow dump outside of the daily scheduled billion XRP release. So what's really going on? I want to know what's actually going on here. The one thing we do know is, like we've said, Bitcoin dominance, even if it's not, that doesn't mean Bitcoin's price is going up. That just means altcoins could be falling faster than Bitcoin. And that's what's happening right now. Mr. Ernie Lightning, welcome in. And I appreciate you being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I told you so badge. And Ernie, I still have your picture on my fridge. You and the family, a Christmas card you sent me from, what was it, 2 years ago, Julie? You sent us a Christmas card. It's still on my fridge. It's a beautiful card, I might add. Just wanted you to know we still have it for some reason. Not that we have it for some reason, but I wanted you to know it for some reason today, since I've never brought it up. And I could bring it over here. No. But I do appreciate that. We like it being in there. Bitcoin right now down 3,000 points, or down 4.37%. And we talked about this in the beginning of the live. When's Julie going to do a TA for us all? Julie, when are you going to do a TA? Right now, she's in the process of, I don't really want to say what she's in the process of.
Trying to kill myself.
She's trying to kill her Sims in her game so that she can have what?
Because I want to, I'm just going to do it.
She just wants to kill her Sims, so she's making them work very hard. They're not very happy. I didn't mean to delete that. But with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is in a very ominous spot here. Because it's either we're going to get rejected here, and we talked about this in the beginning. I don't know if everybody was here yet. I just want to do this like this, I think. Either way, it's fine, but I wanted to put it in permanent like that so I can see it better. We can take a look at XRP Healthcare before we leave too. It's still consolidating. It's still consolidating back down to a support level. I think it's, well, I don't know the exact number off my, it's 3 point something. I think it's 3.2 maybe. But that's the targeted zone if anybody hasn't bought it yet, if it does hold that area. But it's just like the rest of crypto. Look at Bitcoin right here. If we look at this lot, whoops. How did that? I love trading view. But Bitcoin, if it falls from here, it's telling us the technical target down to 57K roughly. That's what it's telling us. That's the broadening wedge retest. It makes so much sense for this to happen. It almost doesn't make sense for it not to happen. Like if you look at it, it makes a lot of sense, but we've got a chance to make this not happen if we can break back up. If we can close the daily here for Bitcoin, as I said when I first started, a big step would be to close the daily over like 67,170 just to be on top of here and say, well, we didn't technically break down. It was just a wick, right? So we'll see what happens because that's on a breakdown. We already know the break up. Although I think I accidentally deleted it. But a break up is interesting. It's actually a little bit higher in this regard if we take it in this context. Let's call it in between. So there's an obvious differential here. If it breaks down, you're looking at that. If it breaks up, we've still got a lot of room in the RSI if it wants to go up, but we're at the midway point. This is where we're going to make a big decision here. It's either we're going to continue into the past the mid-tier way in the daily and we're going to go towards the overbought. I mean the oversold, or we're going to get a lot of buyers to come in right now and then it's going to continue to push out. So that's what we're looking for Bitcoin. It's that tight now. You're coming to the apex moment. The apex moment approximately is somewhere around April 20th. Oh, on 420. How surprising. That, oh! Is the Bitcoin halving on 420? In 8 days? Is it really on 420? If that's the case, ask yourself why they put it on that day. Because a bunch of people are going to forget the set, you know. That is true, Nick. That is true. Wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's funny that it's on 420. Hang in there, Tom. We got this. The dip before the rip. Hey, thank you, MC Prosperity, for that. Not just positivity, but also the $10 donation. I greatly appreciate that. Wow. Certainly was not expecting that. Thank you so much, my friend. That's a hell of a gesture. I do appreciate it. This is something that came out which I thought was interesting. Well, Hong Kong Bitcoin ETF sparked a halving rally. I mean, is it too perfect that China or Hong Kong is going to be the next ETF right at the halving? Is that what sends it over? I don't know. I don't want to read any of that. We've already read enough. But there is one thing we do need to read, because what are we in? We're at already 45 minutes. Julie, it's been 45 minutes? Does that seem quick? I feel like we just started. I know some are losing interest, but this is important. So, if you haven't heard this today, unfortunately I cannot relax because I can't do it inside and it's raining outside and I got all the kids here, so I cannot. So we will not be doing that today. For all your new viewers, I started following Tom 8 months ago, and I bought my wife a brand new car with he's showing me showing me what to do with crypto. That is what I like to hear, ATK. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. No, Matt. Unfortunately, they do not show my notifications ever. Very few people actually receive the notifications. But that's a ringing endorsement if I've ever seen it. Thank you for that. And congratulations to your wife as well. But we need to read this. If you didn't hear this in my live earlier, Ripple Labs makes major move. Unlocks second batch of 500 million XRP from Escrow. Well, that's unfortunate they didn't give it to you today. Of course they wouldn't. Why send you a notification when everything's dumping? I'll give YouTube the YouTube recommend or the analytics thing or the YouTube whatever they do to remind everybody the notifications. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because they're not used to influencers going live when everything's dropping. I get it. So, American payment protocol company Ripple Labs has made a major move today as it unlocks a hefty 500 million XRP tokens from its escrow. The play has sparked speculation across the crypto community, with members wondering why such a large amount was withdrawn. The transfer comes amid its ongoing court battle with the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) about whether the native token XRP should be classified as a security. The SEC has accused Ripple of selling XRP to investors without registering it as securities. The unlocking of the massive amount of tokens from escrow coincides with the XRP price downtrend today, April 12th, raising concerns among investors and members of the crypto community. So Ripple shifts 500 million XRP between wallets. In a significant update, Ripple Labs, the issuer of the XRP token, has unlocked a huge amount of the cryptocurrency from its escrow wallet. According to reports from Whale Alert, a large blockchain transaction tracker the company released was done in 2 consecutive transactions. Per the update, the first transaction released 200 million XRP valued at 122,636,247 USD, so United States dollars. And the second one carried 300 million XRP tokens worth 183.9 US dollars. And here's the Whale Alert, and this is 300 million XRP from unknown wallet, or unlocked from escrow to unknown wallet, and then another 200 million unlocked from escrow at unknown wallet. And that source was Whale Alert X. Moreover, it is important to note that the move aligns with Ripple's monthly strategy of releasing 1 billion XRP tokens into the market to maintain liquidity and ease its use as cross-border system. What the fuck? No. Sorry, no, it doesn't. How is this aligning with no. Ripple always does it on the last day of the month, going into the first of the month, not mid-month. And to that point, we've already released the tokens this month. So this is not normal. They just made it sound like this is normal. This is anything but normal. But that's why you have to understand what you're reading before you read something. So yeah, that's all I'm going to read of that because they prove themselves unreliable with their information, because that is not in the typical trend for XRP, let's be honest. The OTC market demand, that could be something. Rumors to do with the settlement, I'll believe it when I see it, but it seems to defeat the purpose if you get a settlement. I don't know what kind of reaction you would get. I don't know if it's going to be for settlement, honestly. It could be. At this point, I would take a settlement because I don't want to go through a trial because it's going to take forever. If it's for a settlement, like I said, they wanted $2 billion. Anything under $2 billion is going to be a win for Ripple. So why would they throw an extraordinary number like that out? Because then in the eyes of the investor or in the world, Ripple still looks like the winner. So yeah, I mean, I would, if that's the case, but what does the settlement solve us though? That's what I want to know. A settlement doesn't solve anything though. It does for XRP, so we're fine. But for what about the stuff on the ledger? What about their own individual, Yep. It's true, Giovanni. And it's also strange that they started to put clauses into where it's a, a non-disclosure agreement. Like they can't talk about this all of a sudden since it's been fucking 4 years. And now all of a sudden they can't talk about anything. It's incredible timing here. I mean, I don't see why not if you have the proper funds. And Ripple certainly has the proper funds to hire the best attorneys. So yeah, if they wanted to go that route, unless it's a signed, sealed judgment where they agree, all of this sounds like BS to me. If Ripple pays $200 million to get clear regulation or regulatory clarity, if they do pay that, it would make sense. And think about it. If, yep, I know what you meant, my friend Boomer, for regulatory clarity. Thank you for that. I know it's a pain in the ass when you're typing, and I know how the autocorrect and all that nonsense is. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. It's a possibility. If we go down that route, it doesn't do any good for tokens like Algo or some of the other ones. But it's definitely, we could go that route. It's definitely up to well, there's a grudge both ways, rightfully, on Ripple's side. But, I mean, by doing a settlement, you are admitting guilt as well, though. That for institutional sales, that you didn't register them in time, but that's a slap on the slap on the wrist for a company with as much money as Ripple. Yep, 16th. So if we see more of these withdrawals by the 16th, there could be some more legs to this. So, but no, it's definitely a very, very intriguing topic to discuss now, isn't it? But we're winding down here, folks. I'm gonna end this in about 8 to 10 minutes because I gotta go help Julie with the kids and stuff. And plus, this is my second live here in the last 4 hours. Or 4.5 hours. My voice is a little tired. But I just have so much fun doing this and seeing what everybody says. And today, we've had a great back and forth. So it's allowed me to stay on for this entire hour still. It feels like they won't both go to trial. Sure. Yeah. Tom, yeah, Ripple sold it. But SEC cannot find anyone that lost money. I know. That's the messed up part. If I was Ripple, I would not even agree to a settlement because not one single XRP retail investor is going to come forward and say that it's because of XRP. Because even if you want to look at it, even when XRP bounced off, once the lawsuit was announced, it dived down 90%. So, like, the single biggest thing that on appearance is hurting XRP is the lawsuit. The reality is two things could happen. Yes, it could be the lawsuit, or the single biggest thing that's hurting XRP is the price is overvalued because of the trading bots, the GSR trading bots from 2016-17 timeframe, and we just never came all the way back down. And now we're finally trading where we're supposed to, and that was just a fluke. So now the actual reality of 350, that's a flawed. No, that's the speculation. I think it goes deeper than that. I think it goes a lot deeper than that. I do. Oh, I do. There's a lot of stuff going on in the back room that nobody wants to talk about, but there's a lot of stuff that I can't talk about. How did it get to 47 cents? That depends exchange. The ones that I'm tracking, it got down to roughly. But listen, everybody, about 49 cents. For anybody who's here asking how could this happen, haven't we said even if it stayed bullish, it could come? And to me, even if it maintained bullish, it would have to, and it could come down at any time to that 499. I've talked about this all the time. That handle support. The moment that handle support breaks, I got issues. We got issues. Right now, it's standard operating procedure. This bounce back looks like hell. There's no volume. I don't like that. But it's still set up for a little bit more of a return, so we'll see what happens here. It's going to be a very, 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 very interesting weekend here. I can tell you that much. Oh, I can tell you that much. Where was it at? I actually seen something that I wanted to, I don't know if I'll be able to find it right now. Nah, I'll have to look at it later. I don't want to just use somebody else's stuff. I'll do it myself tomorrow. I'll find it. It's glad you sold your H-bar at 13 and I'll go at 28 when it. Yep, Dancing Jesus, absolutely. Those are both that sold out on my limit sales within the recent adventures. What time in the morning you go live? I don't go live in the morning. Those updates that I do that are 20 to 25 minutes, that's not a live update. Or not a live. That's my morning update. I don't go live. The only time I usually go live is 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But today I went live twice. But those in the morning when I do those long-ass videos, that's not me going live. I'm just talking. You know, I make it sound like everybody's there with me because I'm talking to all of you. But I'm not technically live at in the morning, ever. That's just my update. Oh, no, it's a good question, though, gotcha. I mean, Dodger. Sorry, everybody. I'm just, my voice is starting to crack here a little bit. But any other questions, everybody? Any other questions here? If not, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. Video description below and or pinned comments if you're looking for BITUNIX so that you can trade XRP, especially in the USA. Lowest spot level trading fees. No VPN required. KYC not even required if you're withdrawing and depositing from another exchange. And if you want to show me personal support, consider joining Tom's Army or sending one YouTube super chat per month. Giovanni, you also have a great weekend. I'll see everybody here this weekend as normal. I'll still do my morning update. I'll do a short and at least a live as well. One at 6:30 p.m. So it might be the weekend, but I'll still be here as always. Just make sure you stay safe. Pay attention to what's going on and pay attention to the false flags that could be coming as well with the threats of war in Iran and Israel. In the promised land or the most so there's a lot of stuff going on, so just be prepared. Make sure you have precious metals. If you don't, consider looking into that market. I know it's way up now, but real money is always something to have. We did talk about the ETF earlier. I read something about, even with Brad Garlinghouse, what he said. Got to get past this regulatory issue with or the SEC. But it's got a longer, I think it's got a better than not shot, especially because you've already got the clarity with retail. But I think the ETF makes more sense for XRP than Ethereum, seeing that Ethereum is up against it with the SEC currently. They're under the watchful eye. But, I think we have a very, very strong chance at an XRP ETF. A lot sooner than most people think. A lot sooner. There's a lot of money that can flow into an XRP ETF. I mean, initially it would be good, but you got to remember, if there's an ETF that pulls money out that people could just hold XRP and then they just put it into the stock market. So it's a give and take. Initially, like with Bitcoin, it's going to be good, but what happens when all these people sell the ETF? You're going to have to sell it out for real dollars, which is going to hurt the value even worse than if you had, a facade of Tether owning, Bitcoin through an exchange. That's the truth. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt us initially. Long term, it'll bring liquidity. But at what cost? We don't know. That's the question we won't ever be able to ask. You're bringing a bunch of money in from the crypto market, so you're taking money from the total crypto market cap and theoretically throwing it into the stock market. Just like, who knows? But who knows where Bitcoin would be if you didn't do the whole ETF play? We could be down under 10,000 for all we know. It's a bigger game behind, though. I mean, that's a great question. It really is. It's a great question. But just pay attention. Don't do anything drastic, everybody. If you are trading, there's a reason why spot is king, whether you're going long or short. You've seen even before the short, how the market makers conveniently had the market go up across the board. Even with XRP, it was up 3-4%. You had Doge up 10%. You had others up 15%. You had Ethereum up 8%. Things were looking good. That's what they do on it. Just like that, they snap your knocks. That's what the market makers are meant to do. So, have a blessed evening, everybody. I'm going to get going here. Don't forget to give thanks to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I thank every single one of you for being here this evening, especially on the days when it's tough to be here. It really is. Look at the last 4 bull runs. Yes, sir. Yes, this is expected. There's nothing, the standard operating procedure. That question is, how big of a retracement do we have? And we'll find out soon. FE for life, I know, I'm sorry, my friend. And this was the second one I did today, too. But hopefully I'll talk to you later as well, my friend. Yes, I talked about you in the live earlier, too. FE for life. I talked about our Fortnite experience last night. Even more than just Fortnite, just the talk. So, but hopefully I'll talk to you later as well, my friend. But have a good night, everybody. Thank you all for the support. I got to go. My voice is a little cracked. LV4 Light, thank you so much. Yeah, I know. I told you, my nephew is so good at the game. He's an Unreal. I always talk about him, Isaac. He's the one who got me involved in the game. He's just sick. He's really good. Really, really good. Have a blessed evening, everybody. And if you want to see me on PS5, I'm ISO-20022. So consider that. Have a